So we do this thing on occasion called Soul Care Sundays, where we get together and nerd out in panel format about things we talk about in writing sprint chats anyway as writers. Are you ready? Because it's the last one, not only until April 2024, but it's the last one with me hosting in this current recording space. You want a sneak peek at the recording space? Let's get started. Welcome back to an epic episode of Soul Care Sundays. My name is Jenna O'Malley. I am your soul writer, author of sci-fi fantasy with dashes of romance and nerdy references. And we like to geek out about a lot of nerdy things in writing sprint chats. In the past, we've talked about food. We've talked about the books that made us. We've talked about in defense of fan fiction, even. Today, we're going to go ahead and talk about ways to build your community while also giving back too along the way. You're seeing one of the ways I like to give back to the community is by getting all of us together to nerd out. I'm not going to hold up any longer, though, because you've seen the panel. You see we're going to different channels. So let's go ahead, right down the screen. I think it's going to go from left to right. Mel Powers up first. Hello, Mel.
Hello, hello. Ziggy here.
Ziggy's here too?
Ziggy hair.
Ziggy glitter. Got it.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Oh, yes, I'm supposed to do the whole intro thing. I'm really not very good at it, but my name is Mel Power. I write the gay stuff, and I am a lifestyle coach to writers with full-time jobs. I also host for Heart Breathings, the same as Jenna does, and I am super, super stoked to be here.
It's been an amazing ride having you here, and we also have somebody here who is amazing to have. She kind of tried to join in July. We had a schedule kerfuffle, and she's here today. Sako Tumi! Tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, I'm Sako Tumi, also known as Cass Voigt. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. In fact, if you are interested in videos that pertain to marketing for authors, I am kind of leaning hard into it on my channel come January. So please to be dropping by. I would love to see you.
Definitely look, and you have a little bit of gaming like DM content too, right?
I do, but I'm gonna put it on another channel.
I thought you mentioned something about that. Thanks for confirming, my friend.
So
and then of course,
so instead of trying to juggle too many things on my channel, I'm just gonna make a new channel.
It makes your third channel though, right, Sako?
Yeah.
And then, of course, somebody else a lot of us know because she mods for a lot of people. And you all think I'm queen of the links. She beats me out because she's the one who trained me. Mama Maggie Ward. Welcome, welcome, welcome back.
Hello, lovelies. I am Mama Maggie Ward, stroke survivor and indie author and self-proclaimed genre slut because I can't seem to stick to a genre. I started writing after my stroke to recover language because you don't realize how many words you use until you can't even make a word come out of your mouth. And I have over 2 million words written at this point. I have 25 published books. And Yeah, I am totally on board for today about you being thankful to other writers, being thankful to your readers, and just happy to be here with my Nana Write My Mug.
Ooh, is that this year's design?
No, this one is a couple of years ago. This was the Clockwork Nano with kind of the steampunk theme. I tend to drop things, so I actually bought 3 of these.
Smart move as a person who also has the dropsies, I understand. We also have somebody else who's from the Heart Breathings writing community backstage. You recognize her quite well. Probably also have heard her talk about being an amazing, amazing Yaya with her epic pink hair too. Hello there, Jody Jean. Welcome, welcome. Tell us a little bit about you, my friend. You're muted?
There we go. Can you hear me now? Yay! Awesome. Hey everybody, I am Jody Jean Daniels, and my part of the YouTube world is over on Just Right. I run some productivity sprints for Heart Breathings on Monday and Thursday nights at 8 p.m. And I also just do little fun videos about my writing process and kind of show you how I do things. And every once in a while, I might even throw in a Temu haul because apparently late at night when I can't sleep, I, unbeknownst to myself, will order things off Temu and send to myself. So there's that. I am very close to releasing my first book out of a saga. So we are hoping for a release date early or mid-December for the Ledger. And I am really excited to get it out and get it in everybody's hands. So that's me. That's all I'm doing right now, other than just being a grandma, being a yaya for Cooper and Ava, and still like bugging my adult children to do what I want them to do.
Question for the moms on screen, because is not mom to a human baby yet. Do you ever stop being a mom once they're, here?
No. Momism never stops.
No, it never stops. My 31-year-old, my 18-year-old wanted to do something the other day, and I was like, no, absolutely not. And he was like, I'm an adult now. I was like, yeah, call your brother who's 32 and ask him how that's worked out for him. You're not getting a motorcycle. No.
Not as long as mom's alive. So we're going to break up all of the female buoys with somebody who's new on this channel, somebody who's not new to the chat because y'all see him everywhere anyway, and he's been on a lot of other people's channels too. RC, is it metal time? RC? Did we break him?
Metal is also muted, but it's also everywhere and ubiquitous. Howdy,
How
folks.
dare you mute the metal?
Well, I got a lot of stuff going on. Laundry. I just had to be a little quiet for everybody.
So tell us about you, buddy.
Hey, folks. RC Scott here. I'm an indie horror writer. Kind of tough act to follow, listen to everyone talk about themselves. About me, I kind of fell into writing later on in life. I, got into reading later, writing later, and I don't know. I guess after walking the dark streets of Chicago my entire life, left my mind kind of haunted, and decided to do something about it and spill it all onto paper. I don't have much going on my YouTube channel. I just kind of hang out with y'all in the chats and, just kind of tagging along in the streams because I really have nothing new to say or anything I feel like saying. Kind of have a Substack that I'm messing with that I'll get to eventually at some point. I have some shorts out available, No Strings Attached, a double feature, midnight double feature, a novella, Skin Auction, and a new novella, The Cyst, which came out on Halloween.
The cover of which gives me the creepy crawlies because I have, what is that thing where you can't stand geometric shapes or tears in flesh as images? I have that thing. Trick of something, whatever. Yeah.
You mean like clusters of holes too? Yeah.
Yes.
I was thinking about that when I was putting it together. You should read it.
You succeeded. You succeeded.
Wait till you read it.
Yes.
Other than that,
you read.
I'm not doing anything. Not a part of anything, not even doing anything. I'm just writing on my own.
So let's see if, since you're not doing anything, then what is the chat doing? We have the Writing Sisters. Thank you for smashing the like button. The Cheesecake Man. Miranda, I have seen hop around to pretty much every single channel that is streaming, and I think 5 out of the 6 of us are. So thank you, my friend. Miranda was on the episode 2 weeks ago and said some hellos. Do check out their channel. I can get a link here eventually, unless somebody beats me to it. At the same time, we also have Inca and Cool Gamer, and well, there's RC in the chat saying hello to everybody. Alicia, I think I saw a couple other of you there in the chat as well. Miranda's Cauldron, there they be.
There's the link.
First
slow.
like.
I noticed when I commented here in StreamYards, it went across every stream. Whoever's
Yes.
streaming this right now, that's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool. Inca is also agreeing with the genre slutdom. If our dear friend at Book and Lane hears that, yes, I would love for her to take her genre slut mug and make a genre slutdom mug.
She's got the mug back, but she hasn't got any of the other stuff. The mug is back. The mug is back.
I love that mug. It's one of my favorites. Just saying. Hello, Candace and Jen Writes Romance. And also, Mama Maggie added some links to Bookages, and I added the links there to Miranda's. Hello. Thank you, Inca. Leave it to Inca as my beta reader and several of people's on screens beta reader. You were right in my brain space. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some preset questions. You're welcome to answer along in with the chat there. Question number 1. Which social media platforms do you like the most for authors and writing versus readers and fan building? And we'll just start with Mel and go around the square.
I think for me personally, for authors, it's definitely YouTube, working with authors, but readers, more Instagram, Facebook kind of stuff. Yeah.
I have to say the same thing. My audience and connections are on Facebook, and sometimes authors get a hold of me on Instagram, but I mostly get to both really on YouTube.
Because of where I started, I actually get most of my readers through Inkit and Wattpad because I post my rough drafts as I'm writing them. And one of the things that I do for them is I will post my rough drafts, and then when I go through the publishing steps, I always leave my rough drafts for free because I know not everyone can afford ebooks and Kindles and all of the bling stuff. So I leave my rough drafts for free after I do like one pass of cleanup edits. But yeah, I get most of mine from Inkit and Wattpad, and a few from the time travel author tag that I follow on Twitter/X platform.
For authors and writing, I'm a YouTube and Facebook girl. You guys know that about me. A new medium that I'm kind of getting into is medium.com. I don't have a lot of experience with it yet, but I'm finding it very interesting. I'm leaning into LinkedIn actually, to make connections with publishers and like cover artists and editors and things like that. As far as readers, like fan building, again, Facebook, Instagram, all the Goodreads, all the normal things that you would jump into. But I mean, it depends on who your audience is, as to which one of the platforms is going to work for you. And it also depends on what you're most comfortable with. So those are the ones that I'm leaning into right now.
RC?
Well, for me, with writers, I'd say YouTube and Discord. With somewhat Facebook, where they just see me posting my crap all day and talking my smack. with readers, yeah, Facebook too. It's where I interact with most of them, and that's about it. Like Instagram, kinda. X, that's more for like future things. There's a lot of artists on there posting their stuff I might want to link up with later, so I kind of keep that as like a loose tether. Like, you know, I'll get to it when I need to, but that's just like, you know, later on down the line. But yeah.
I would have to echo what most of them are saying. I'm also going to add in, if you're early or if you have a large audience to bring to it, Ream Stories is kind of like what Mama Maggie was saying with Wattpad and Inkit. You have that option to keep it or parts of it free. If you're familiar with Patreon's tier systems, you can make it look like that, or you can just choose to keep it free if you like. Inca is the ruler of Ream Stories, in my opinion, as far as people to follow for ideas. So definitely going to go ahead and have to say, if you are starting out and you're like, I just want a place to kind of build with a little bit, please do go ahead and feel welcome to look at what Inca's doing a little bit as a good start of how versatile it can be versus somebody like me who's not really using it for its full power, or others I think are using it just to put drafts up and stuff like that. I'm going to put the second question up and then share Inca's link, actually. And a couple of my co-hosts have put their links in the chats. Please feel welcome to go ahead and follow them wherever you like. Question number 2. If you know the music nonsense, yes, I'm doing that voice. Define what your beta and alpha readers do for you, what they might represent as far as, are they only readers and writers? Are they a blend of sensitivity readers? Like, who all do you like to keep in these things? You know, do we want to build a snowball effect here and talk more grandly just about the whole process you use, share out, things of that nature? It's a very umbrella question.
So my beta readers, I don't have an alpha reader because I tend to like really comb through my stuff before I take it to my betas. And they represent readers and writers for me, the people who read in the genre. Like, that's one thing I want from my beta readers, is that they read in my genre. And they're also authors. I do have a sensitivity reader that once it's closer to the publication date, that I will run it through him, because I write gay men and I'm obviously not a gay man. So I will run what I feel like needs to be run through him, and then I will send it off to my editor.
I mostly ask for developmental stuff. For my alphas, my sister does like copy edits, which is fine and makes her happy. For betas, I tend to get some writers, some readers, and some readers of my genre, and ask for the developmental stuff. Does anything leap out at them or seem wrong? And this is the first story, my nano story is the first story I have ever had an alpha reader for. So this is an experience.
So your process is currently in the process of changing, I guess we could say too, which is good.
Yeah.
Mama Maggie.
Oh, you're muted.
Muted?
Oh, I'm going to share
Mama
something
Maggie
really quick. So, because I have brain damage from my stroke, I have a 15-step process before it even gets to my beta readers. It doesn't get to my one alpha reader until chapter 6, and then before I start putting on Wattpad or Inkit or anything like this, it goes through this stepping process because I have brain damage from my stroke. And my most important thing that I'm looking for, though, is from my beta readers and my alpha readers is the authenticity of my character arcs. That is the thing that I have most. This document right here if you can see it, I can. These are my 15 steps. These are and you can see right here. This is where my first alpha reader step is, all the way down to step 6. And then I have to go through all of these other things before it ever gets down to now off to the beta readers. So it's for me getting through to the beta readers. I do so much before then. And then, but my main thing when I finally get to that level of having it to the beta readers is I want them to, I want my arcs of my characters and my characters to be believable. To me, I really struggle with paper dolls. I really struggle with people who have characters that are paper dolls. They're flat, 2-dimensional characters. And you can stick all the glitter you want on a paper doll, but it's still a paper doll. So having characters with depth and world builds that are relatable, that's the important thing to me from my beta readers. And that's the primary thing I ask is their arc believable?
I have one alpha reader, and that's my husband, Dan. He's a screenplay author, and he really is able to go through and highlight the chunks of my problem with show, don't tell. So then I'm able to go back through and really, he's like, yeah, this is great if it was me writing it for a screenplay and it was directions. So, he can catch that kind of stuff that I do because I'm Jenna calls me the director. So I have him as my alpha reader. And then my betas are basically, there are other authors who are right now, they're all within the Heartbreakers community. They're friends that I've made through Sarah. And they kind of don't see it until it gets to the final draft because I send it to my editor, which is Jenna, and then she sends it back and I do some fine tuning and then I send it back to her. I do fine tuning again and then it goes to beta. And the thing I'm really looking for from my beta readers at that point is plot holes, tiny little grammatical errors. I'll just, I have like a little code sheet. I'm like, if it's grammatical, highlighted in yellow. If it's a plot hole, highlighted in blue for me. Just things like that is what I really need from them. And then I also have a sensitivity reader. Right now, I have for several different things. My book is an international that's set in Bangkok, Thailand. So I have a friend who lives there that has been helping me with some of those things. I also have my eldest son, who is gay, and he reads like the LGBTQ kind of side of anything I write and helps me, catch things. And then the other thing I have, there was something I didn't know about, and that was that within the mental health community, we have quit saying split personality. It is a dissociative order, and I did not know that. And I have put that in my book. And my friend who, because I was dealing with something like that, she is a therapist, and I had sent it to her, and Chantal was like, hey, this isn't in our books anymore. We don't say this anymore. This is what you need to say. This is, how it's diagnosed now. So I try and kind of think, I think that's important as an author, is to just think about your story, think about all the elements that are in it, and then go to the people who are the losing the words, y'all, radiation brain, who are the authority in that situation, and ask them for their feedback. So that's how I use alpha, beta, and sensitivity readers.
RC.
You might find this hard to believe, but I don't use alpha readers or beta readers. When I first started out, I would have a couple of friends look at my stuff, and they never gave me anything useful at all. they would come back, hey, that was good. I'm like, all right, well, what about this character? What about the dialogue? Should I punch this scene up? It was good. Whatever. And I was kind of just stuck on my own for a while. And not only that, I've never written anything or completed anything longer than a novella. I don't really think I'm at that level yet where like I'm writing novels or series for that matter, where I really need extra eyes on it. I'm kind of good for now, but maybe as that grows, I'll branch out. But for the present, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
I'm kind of in between both parties on this. I at current do not have an editor. I'm looking for an editor before I start putting out season 2 of my main series, because the person I worked with for season 1, we've wrapped our business relationship. And I learned all I could learn from them. I did use beta readers in the past when I did the rebrand relaunch revolution. I got some really good feedback on what needed fixed to pivot the series, and people saw continuity checks I didn't think to double check. So if you are going to do the series and you're like, all I need is an editor, I would at least a couple of books in have someone go through and do a continuity read for you, just to make sure you're not missing glaring stuff. My continuity reader has given me the most feedback, the most helpful feedback. I'll put it that way. As far as like, because I'm getting ready to go and write another set of 5 books in the same universe, here's what you're missing. So if you are looking to go that long and that deep into, do you need one every single book, or do you need one every couple of books? It's up to you. Notice everybody here on screen had a different pattern, and it's admitting it has changed over time. It's good to do so, in my opinion, for sure, as you change and grow as a writer. So let me reemphasize. Is there a right way? No. Is there a wrong way? Probably not. 3, what events do you typically host for your writer and reader fans? And do you like to blend them together, keep them separate, or more?
Well, I think for me, obviously the number one thing for me is the writing sprints. That's a really big thing. I recently did my first live Q&A, and it went a lot better than I was expecting. I was expecting maybe 1 or 2 people to show up, and that was it. But we just went flat out for the full hour, and that was a lot of fun. I don't have any fans in this space yet. Having been a gay erotica reader, there's not a whole lot of places to advertise yourself because of that. And I used to do really well on Twitter, X, whatever they're calling it this week. But then that became not a safe place for me to be. And so I left my, over 4,000 followers on there and kind of just disappeared. I retired the pen name because I do enjoy writing that. It was fun while it lasted, but there's really no way for me to actually sell my work because there's no place. I mean, it's not like I can throw an ad up on Facebook for that, right? So I'm concentrating more on the new paranormal series. And I think that, and I was saying this morning in my sprints, is that your first readers will be this community, because that's how we are. We will support each other. We'll read each other's stuff, buy each other's books, even if it's not a genre that we generally read. And so just keeping with what I'm doing now, and doing some workshops, some more Q&As, and just some fun stuff like this is definitely how I blend my readers and my client, like my coaching clients and stuff like that.
Much like Mel, I do live streams to get at my writers. I do Pomodoro sprints on Tuesday mornings, and I'll do coffee and cigarette breaks and stuff like that on Facebook for readers and writers, mostly readers. Yeah, Pomodoro sprints is pretty much how I decided to. Really, the marketing for authors, like, mini niche, is my way of giving back to the community that taught me so much. You're muted again, love.
Sorry, Lola, my very, very ancient Chihuahua is asleep behind me, and she snores a little bit. So I'm muting her little squeaky snores. So for me, I host book launch streams where I usually read a chapter. I read excerpts from the book. I'll have someone tell me a page and I'll read it, or I'll read a chapter. I also, on my YouTube channel, I have them set as podcast, but I read parts of my books. Like I'll have like 10 or 20 different videos set up where I have just read part of one of my books from one of my series onto it. Another thing that I do is I have the Facebook page for my older readers. I have the Ko-fi page. You buy me a coffee and I'll send you an ebook or a movie. And the marketing is the part that I really, really struggle with the most as far as like selling my books and getting out there. But I am like Jenna said at the beginning, I'm the mod with mostest. I'm the tumwaddle, the mama with all the links. And because I mod so many different streams and I'm in so many different places, I actually get the chance to put my books out there, to put other people's books out there. To talk about indie books that I'm reading in chat streams, to share Eva's Bookend Lane genre slut mug that she made for me, and I'm so grateful. And just it's the thing. That's where our community comes in, is because I'm able to not just like pitch my own stuff, but everyone else's too. I'm like, oh, you're looking for this kind of horror. Let me tell you about RC's book. You'll never want to see a spider again. Or let me direct you to Sako. She does art streams, and maybe she could do an image for your cover. Or Diane Dobson, or just different people. That is the advantage of being able to being like more of in the background of the community. I used to do 5 a.m. Writers Club every Tuesday and Sunday, but I've had COVID 3 times this year. And I've had horrible migraines. So where I used to do 2 streams a week for like the last 3 years, I'd been doing 1 or 2 streams a week. I don't think I've done 10 or 12 streams this whole year. It's just what Carrie said. The community is just, able to reach out. I've had a few people pop on with me to do book streams. Paget Farmer actually saved me. I was so miserable, and she's like, let me help you with your book stream. And so she popped in and hosted a stream. Sako has helped me with a book launch stream. And it's just, that's the thing with it, is finding a community, finding a tribe. And yes, I can say the word tribe. I'm Native American, but finding that group of people to help you find your village is probably the biggest step for new writers to launch books, to get started in the community, to move forward.
Yeah, I so agree with Mama Maggie about the community. I don't think I can say enough about Heart Breathings. Not only have they supported me through some of the most difficult times of my life, they will also jump in, and celebrate with you during the best times of your life. And there's no competition there. It's all cheerleading there. And when you've got somebody like Sarah who has sold millions and millions of books, but she will cheer you on and take that moment and say, and the things she does for us, that is amazing. But I'm off topic. Sorry. I can talk about Sarah and give her praise all day long and twice on Tuesday. What I'm currently doing is I do the YouTube sprints. I'm like Sacco and Mel and Jenna. I do the productivity sprints, the Pomodoro. I do them on Monday and Thursday nights, and it's really helped me kind of build a community and get in there and know more people and other people other than just heart readings, which is awesome because I'm meeting other writers who are in other communities, and it's cool to get the introspective of different people's different genres and stuff like that. Something I would like to do as far as hosting an event is I really want to do a live workshop where we are in a format kind of like this, and maybe we create a character together. Maybe we write an opening something together. I would love to do something like that. I would also like to start up doing like Java with Jody, kind of like Mel does with her Q&A, where we just sit and talk and we like kick around ideas, and it's just kind of like an open forum. It's something I want to get into. But I think the main thing I'm really enjoying about anything that we're doing on YouTube is just the diversity and just the different the opinions that you never would have thought of, and when somebody explains something to you in a way that you've never thought of it before, or you say something and they give you feedback, and it's not criticism, it's, hey, you just said this and I just wanted you to know XYZ. From this community standpoint, what you said, it could mean XYZ. And getting that in a safe space, like with my just right, my whiskeys, it means the world to me. And that's what I want to give back to my readers, and just always in my community and make sure that they have a safe space. That's what I want to be the most, is a safe space. Yeah.
Well, this has two answers for me. One that's short, one that's not very short. First, with readers and other writers and with like what I host and all that, nothing. I have a Discord server, one that's kind of private, one that's more public. I host watch-alongs here and there, like movies and all that jazz, share my screen. People show up occasionally. Last month, I was showing horror movies every day. People were showing up. Actually, a couple of readers. I mean, I knew them from online, but they read my stories, said they liked it, became friends, and I call them readers now. Otherwise, it's also be kind of cool having AuthorTube people come along, and usually ones that generally don't watch movies, let alone ultra graphic 80s trash that I show. That has been a lot of fun and a little traumatic for some. But hey, if you just take one look at me, you should already know what's in store for you.
I'm kind of sad I missed some of those now.
Well, it's still going. I just kind of cooled off of horror for a little bit. I watched 59 movies last month. All watch-alongs because, people wanted to watch them. And I was, kind of promoting my book at the same time. Now, for the other one, as far as communities are concerned, oh God, I've never really been established in one community. I've always just kind of wandered about from world to world, never really calling one my own. That's why I know so many different people from like the metal community, the goth community, comic book geeks, theater geeks, film nerds. And of course, you can't forget the street hustlers. You got to make their money, and walking in them every day. As soon as you walk outside, can't help it. Develop some kind of rapport, at least be on friendly terms so they're not shooting you in the middle of the night. But anyways, yeah, and then to get into writing later on, and different communities, kind of like, yeah, just new experiences, and just kind of building off it, having your own kind of how would you say this? One person community, but you're just stretch everywhere. Part of everything, but not that type of deal.
You need to be, instead of being, how does that quote go? Good Lord. Lord of the Rings. Bilbo, butter and too much bread. I'm
Yeah.
not the butter. In this case, I'm the bread.
I
need
Jenna.
to be the foundation on which everyone else comes to enjoy. So, hearing you a little bit there.
Let's go on an adventure.
Let's go on an adventure. Is there any walking involved? I lived in Maryland, dude. That's a long way. I mean, Sako and I could probably split some gas money, but
Yeah.
You're talking to a person that, you know, after I'm gone, I'm pretty sure part of me is still going to be walking the sidewalks around this city or riding the rails. So, yeah, I can walk.
Be glad Chicago has a good one, buddy.
And I didn't say it was good. It exists.
It's better than rural Maryland.
Well, there's one thing I can say about Cleveland. They have better public transportation. That's all I can say about them.
Colorado has terrible public transportation. I'll just say it right now. Beautiful place, lots of scenery. No one can afford to live here. And the public transportation is, well, the bus didn't come this hour. Will it come next hour?
Let's probably say drug test there. It's Colorado.
RC, really?
I ain't riding that bus, man.
No, that's the reason why most of them are riding the buses.
We've got a couple of friends who slipped in, and I was saying hello there. And yes, I want that mug that Mama Maggie shared earlier now for the well, it's up there. It's up there. Genre Slutdom mug. I might have to concede and let Molly Moo in here. She's gonna rip down the door if I don't. Let's see.
Oh, hail the feline overlords.
Don't make her head bigger. You've done enough of that already, Mama Maggie.
Just because I put her in one of my books. Cats will save you from zombies. Molly Moo's a hero.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is in her own brain and nowhere else. I promise. Question number 4. What is your favorite memory from chat interactions on your channel or not? I included this because some people belong in the Stream Hoppers Unite fast lane, along with Mama Maggie, and that's RC. And then we're going to probably do 1 or 2 more questions and then start wrapping up. We have leftover questions for another time. This is good. So, what's your favorite memory from chat interactions on your channel or not?
I don't think I have a favorite one because every time I do a live stream, something awesome happens for someone that we can celebrate. Though I will say today, everybody's reaction to getting Carlos back was pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome because we were all missing him thanks to the whole, YouTube and Canva not liking each other's licensing thing. But every single time I host a live stream, something amazing happens. Just the energy in my sprints, whether it's Wednesday nights or Sunday mornings, and there's always something to celebrate. So I can't honestly say that I have a favorite memory. Honestly can't.
A couple years ago, I had a couple of fans on my stream in the middle of the night. It was a after party for a sleepover, I think. And it was Kibby Rose and Christina Poe. And they were effing hilarious. And like, to the point where we were laughing so hard to the point where Kibby fell out of her seat, which just made us laugh harder. And so, yeah, 2020, I think.
Because of the nature of the genre I write, because I tend to write overcomer fiction, and a lot of my characters tend to have some seated trauma in their past. Back when, before I started my YouTube channel, I was working on a couple of different stories, and I had at a few different occasions when I was going through the trauma thing and talking about, what the characters were feeling afterwards, what they experienced afterwards, what they were saying in therapy. And that's something that I have in many of my books. I have characters who are in therapy, and I have been told to take that out, and I won't. I'm sorry, but it's a relatable thing. People need to see characters in therapy so that they can think it's okay for themselves. And the biggest thing to me was I had a few people reach out to me in my Inkit and Wattpad starting days, and they were like, so this thing happened to me and I've never told anyone. This thing happened to me and I think that it's time that I talk to someone. And all I could do was encourage them. Yes, get therapy. Yes, come down the recovery road with us. And as a survivor myself, it's very important for me to get that message out there that, you survived something. It's not your fault. Therapy does not show weakness in you. These are good things for you. And that's the thing that has stuck with me throughout everything, is that it is that showing people in their weakest point and showing them advocating for their own care, or having a loved one in the story step up and say, I think you need to get some therapy. You need more help. You can't keep going like this. That, and having readers relate to that, to their own lives, and being willing to take that step forward for themselves, that's been the biggest thing for me.
For me, it was the day that I announced my cancer diagnosis. The love and support was just ongoing and unbelievable. I had struggled with whether or not to bring it up or not, or to say anything. But you guys who know me, I'm very transparent. I mean, I'll tell you anything. So, and the other part of that was chemo wasn't, and the surgery wasn't that, I mean, they were big deals, but it didn't scare me as bad as radiation did. And when that rolled around and I had to be in that machine and, it's passing in front of you, like right there, I was really anxious and scared. And some of the Heart Breathings community admin came together and they're like, okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to play the what if game. You're going to think about a story. And then the entire time you're in the machine, you're going to play the what if game. And you're going to make a story, and just that's all you're going to think about. And on the way there was a lake, and I had told Sarah about it, and she was like, well, see, you're not going to radiation. You're going to the lake to see those ducks. And then you're going to play the what if game. So the what if game turned into the book that I'm about to release, The Ledger.
Yay.
So that sits with me more than anything, is just how gracious and loving the entire community was. It wasn't just Heart Breathings. It was AuthorTube. It was everyone. And I will never, ever forget that.
I'm here. I'm just taking in the moment for a second. Well, to answer Carrie H. Author's question in the chat, I am not in Cleveland. I spent a weekend or a couple days out there. A friend's metal band was playing, and I hung out at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and saw what Cleveland had to offer. And there goes my laundry. That's done. All right. On to the actual question. Favorite thing in the chat? Well, first I had to go off of whenever I'm doing a stream with Sako and someone shows up for their birthday and she does her Viking birthday dirge. That is always golden. And anyone who has a birthday, please show up whenever we see you streaming, because it's always awesome. But honestly, in the few years I've been an author too, there's one thing that I've loved to see authors do: troll each other. Because one thing is, authors, we are natural trolls. No matter what we're doing, no matter what we're writing, we're trolling something in general. Doesn't matter what it is.
R.C. Scott is their president.
Well, I mean, you can go all the way back to Dickens with Tale of Two Cities. Was he just trolling the French? And,
he's the king. You're the president.
Hey, I'll take it as long as it pays. But, and that kind of inspired me. I see other writers doing that, writing their own little fictional stories based off a troll. I even did it with my Substack, which I plan on getting back to, Richard Holiday. And also kind of set me up for potential novel I want to write that's going to be trolling the crap out of all you lovely planner people out there. So,
Oh, mercy.
Well, that's where the were-cows
Love
came
it.
from.
yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I think I remember that conversation, Mama Maggie.
the were-cows came from a troll thing. Were-cows and emu shifters and the whole thing, and witches who weigh as much as ducks.
Kind of like Angela
Witch.
trolling me in right now in the chat.
Mom.
Yeah.
Mom. If you don't know, you go around Angela's channel. She will mom you if she feels you need mommed. Just saying.
I love Angela's streams because her laugh is so infectious.
Right? And she
Like-
laughs at herself, which is
And she
always
laughs at
fun
herself.
when you
Like,
can laugh at yourself.
Every break is full of laughter, and I'm here for it.
It's a
she
nice
has
midday pick-me-up.
She has kitty distraction.
Yes. Yes.
Smudgy Olive. For the win. For the win. For me, my favorite moment in chat was the first, to date, the first stream I did in this new space was a lot of fun. That was a blast. A lot of people showed up. We had a blast. We had fun. So I hope the last stream in this space for live streams in a couple of weeks is as fun. We'll put it that way. Collaborations. Obviously, y'all see how I feel about collabing. I'm not even going to answer this as our final question. It is our final question because I have a meeting to get to with another one of you here in a few minutes, actually. So obviously, I love collabs. Mel, your turn.
I love them like this. I've tried to do them like a writing collab, and it's just that does not work for me. But this, I will do this every day. Every day. I love this sort of thing. Thank you, Jenna, for bringing this all together.
Yes, I have to absolutely agree. These kinds of collaborations where we can stream, and especially now with StreamYard, where you can stream to other accounts and stuff like that. Like, super great. Super great. Also, I'm co-writing a sequel to Flambeau with BC Brown, and that is Tuesday nights, either on her channel or mine. We kind of go back and forth, and you can see the whole process and maybe have a say on how things go. So, yeah, I live for this kind of stuff.
I love doing the video collabs. I feel like I do a lot more collabs than I do because I mod in so many different places. It's like I'm always it's like when I came down with COVID this week and I've just basically been MIA for like 5 or 6 days. People were messaging me like, "Hey, are you okay? We haven't seen you around the streams." And I'm like, "I'm so sick." So I was so glad when I woke up this morning and I was like, "Oh yeah, I feel better. Yay."
Yay!
So, but yeah, I love doing video collabs. I just stream, whether it's sprint streams or if I'm collaborating as just a moderator, and it's just my job to throw in the links and to bash the bots. Bot bashers unite. And just, to try to, be there to support my fellow authors. I love that. The only real writing collab I did was I ghost wrote for a friend of mine who was going through cancer treatments, and this was back 2016 and 17, and this was when the werewolf shifter genre was starting to shift into the violent alpha omega verse tropes, and she and I both hated these tropes as being survivors, both of us being survivors, and she with her job as a victim's advocate and like victim rescue person, especially from working in the Middle East. We wrote a book called Apostasy basically about this insane abusive alpha and his poor Luna just trying to survive. And several of the things in the book were based on her survival from her very bad, very violent marriage. And that was such a powerful collaboration between the two of us to get this message out there that violence will never turn into love, that abusers don't love those they abuse, and that different coping mechanisms don't work, and these are the signs you need to look for to know if you're in an abusive relationship. That was so powerful for me that I don't know if I'd ever be able to do another collaboration since Brenda passed away, because the thing we did had such a powerful message.
Yeah.
But I do love doing the collaborations on the YouTube videos and just going around and being the mod. That's, I mean, people are like, oh yeah, but nobody ever sees you. No, being the mod, that can be some of the most rewarding work, sharing people's stuff. And it can also be like, oh, YouTube has gotten better, but for a while, I mean, we were getting trolls and bots, and it was like, I mean, there were sometimes it was like 20 times a stream that we were having to drop the hammer on somebody because they just were coming in waves. And it really is important to have someone just behind the scenes who can just be like, nope, and hit that 300-second timeout. And if they don't back off, then snap, you're gone. Because, you know, the world is stressful enough and loud enough and toxic enough that you don't need to be in your safe space and have that invading.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with all that. I love doing collaborations. I really do. I do like these podcasts and things with you guys, and I adore doing that. Something I really, really want to do is I want to co-author something, and I want it to be in a genre that I'm not really comfortable with, that I really want to explore. I do a lot of paranormal stuff. I do a lot of sci-fi stuff, but I really, and RC, I'm looking at you.
How?
I want to dive into and delve into horror. So,
Well,
yeah, Saka.
what's your
It's okay,
pleasure?
So that's some things that I'm kind of looking into for you guys, later on. As soon as I get this saga out the door and get book 2 out of Zero Draft, I would really love to try and think about do the what if game, play the what if game again, and see what happens. So
The cool thing about horror is that the what if game becomes, what is the worst possible thing that can happen to this character in this moment? Yes.
I think in 5 years when that book comes out, I will take credit for the first instance of you guys talking, just saying, anyway, RC, you're welcome, Jody Jean, love you.
I introduced them.
It's funny you mention that because, like, horror, out of a lot of the genres, you can branch out more, and that's what I've always done. I haven't really done like any bookstores or branch off. Like, Chicago's full of plenty of local authors, plenty of libraries, and I don't talk to a single one of them. I go to horror conventions, I go to metal shows and pass off flyers like I'm, about to drop an EP or something. Barcode on there, or sorry, QR scan on there. Yeah, there's like 2 big horror conventions, any metal show, any goth show. They like horror too, and that's one thing too, that cover for the cyst. Even my goth friends like, oh, come on, dude. That's too far. So I will take that badge of honor. But collaborations, I've never done one, have none planned. I'm open to them depending on the person, and my line is always open, Junji Ito. And that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, noted. Of course, I have anime manga images, Junji Ito style manga images running through my head. Anyway.
We'd make dark music together. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, metal. Anyway, the first time I'm in Chicago, we're supposed to sing metal together anyway. So, 59:28. It is about time to wind down. We still have half our questions to save maybe for the spring and maybe do this panel another time next year. I can't believe it's been an hour, everybody. OMG. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for joining me. And if you have yet to check out anybody else, Molly Moo, you scratching the wall is really not helping the whole horror writing factor right now. I hope my mic's not picking that up. I'm sorry if it is.
It totally did on my end. I can hear it. Oh, that's so cute.
Thanks, guys. You encouraged her.
I have Molly Moo scratching on one side and Lolita snoring on the other. So,
Mama Maggie has the regular horror. The regular soundtrack. So thank you all. Please check out all of my co-hosts in the description box below. Thank you, everybody who has been here for every episode so far of Soul Care Sundays. We'll see you in April and in the new space. Above all, take care of yourself. I think we all realize you're worth it.
Bye.
Bye.